Something.
Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, you'll be the only one who won't. Yeah.
This.
So
Okay.
Jeremy,
Now we're good.
how's Arcane?
I finished it, actually. I got all the way to the end. I didn't realize there was only 9 episodes.
You watched? I
and,
didn't even watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I got all the
Really?
way to the end. I was just.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Isn't it fantastic?
I was all right. Yeah, I mean, I think towards
It's
the
pretty
end it
damn
got good.
good. Come
Yeah,
on.
and you want to know what I did after that? Then I watched all of the Dota show, the Dota TV show.
The Blood
Oh,
Dragon or whatever.
Yeah, I was all right. It was just like an
My
anime.
son watched all that. He liked it. I don't know. I didn't watch any of it.
I think the plots of both of those are super convoluted.
Oh yeah.
And
The game?
the
It
League of
looks
Legends one's
150
pretty easy to
actually.
follow.
Should I delete it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
The League one's not that difficult, dude.
I just gave the execution order on The Witness because I got as far as I could get.
Oh yeah. No, I've done that a bunch of times. Like reinstalled and then
I get like
didn't work,
5 puzzles in. And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of walking around this stupid island. All right.
All right.
Are we ready?
Child have to clean out the fridge there, Jeremy. So
Yeah, there's my daughter's cleaning out the fridge. Actually, I'm kind of curious what she's installing.
Devil May Cry 4, presumably.
My son always likes to come in and install like Rainbow Six on my PlayStation. And it's like, yeah, Rainbow Six Siege. It's like 80 gigs or something stupid.
Where is Audacity? I clicked Audacity and it didn't start up.
The Audacity. Okay. I'm recording.
I also am recording. I now have 8 minutes of gold.
I've got 37 seconds of gold.
I'll start mine over. Wasn't that gold?
All right, now I'm started.
All right,
Okay.
I also am started.
Let's
4
clap.
seconds of
Let's do the
gold.
thing like that we do. 1, 2, 3. All right.
So I built an IKEA desk today.
Oh, hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I built
How many people?
the Mickey desk, which is apparently like their best-selling desk for. It's just a small desk. It's like a kid's. I'm gonna do homework desk for my daughter who's going into 6th grade, and
Wow.
yeah, she wanted a new desk, so
Aw.
it was only like $89. So not that bad. But man, this thing had like 1,000 parts to it. It was
Sounds
like
about
way
right.
more parts. You look at it and you're like, that's about 6 parts. Nope.
You should do
Nope.
that thing where someone comes and does it for you, just like crowdsource it.
Crowdsource it. I think you can pay
What would I
IKEA
talk
to have
about on
them
the
come and
podcast tonight?
build it for you, right? Can you do that?
I think we have a whole store out here that's all about that. Like they just sell like assembled IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Something like that.
Find me IKEA.
I wonder how profitable that business is, because it ain't making margin off of the product. The product is the product.
Yeah.
It's all off the
That'd be
labor, right?
Pretty good to have it on the side. They've got like all the packaging. Like they build their building out of like
They,
flat pack.
So they build the whole piece of furniture, and then they book an entire 53-foot long trailer and put nothing but your single piece of furniture on it, and then ship that directly to your house, just to totally undo all of the efficiency of the flat pack.
Dale's got the logistical. He's got it figured out.
He works in the trucking industry. It's
They're shipping air all over the place.
So say you had a $100 one of these freaking bookshelves like you have back here.
A Kallax. Yeah.
Callius, right? Kallax? Is that what it's called?
No,
Anyway.
Kallax is the big square ones.
And you have the big one, and it's like $100, whatever the $100 version is. What would you pay a premium to have that put together for you?
Oh, I would never.
Anytime as much as 20%, maybe.
Would you pay 20%?
No.
You pay an extra $20 to have it put together for you? Hell yes, I would.
If
All
I
day
had, like,
long.
If I needed it, if I had like a game night happening that night and I had to have that shelf built, sure. Yeah,
Now, what if you didn't, though? Is it worth $20 for your 2 hours of time to not do that?
Here's what I'll tell you. I've built the like 5x5 Kallax.
Oh, yeah.
That thing's a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like these ones are like $60.
$50.
These guys right here.
I'd pay $50.
These are like 4x2.
My kids really like to put them together, so I'm just like, you know what? Knock yourself out.
That's cool.
$0.
Then they screw it up, man. Like that's the problem.
So far, it's been all right.
Well, I'd pay 20% premium. Would it be worth it for the business?
20 to 50. I don't know. 50% is a lot, but like I would say starting at 20, and then the bigger the piece, maybe go up to as much as 35
Okay,
or
so
something.
how much are you paying an employee? You're paying an employee $15 an hour to assemble
Oh
dumb
yeah,
IKEA shit, right?
it's true.
So say one of these $100 Calixes takes an hour to assemble for one
It'd be
person.
2 guys though,
So
because
2
a lot of their
guys.
furniture does actually recommend 2 people, even though it's you can definitely
Okay.
do it alone.
So 2 people at $15 an hour, they're paying them for an hour's worth of work to put one of those dumb 5x5 ones together.
It shouldn't take them more than an hour. 2 people, they should easily be
So
done
that's
in an hour.
$30 in labor plus
But then gas,
whatever. Gas for what?
for them to drive over to your place to put the thing together.
No, they put it together at the store,
And then they're gonna
and then
put it in the back
they
of their
require
giant-
somebody. Then people come and buy it from you, or you have the service where you're like, hey, what do you want? I want a Callis 5x5, and I order it from IKEA. They deliver it to my house for free. I build it in my house,
DoorDash.
and then they come and pick it up from my house.
No, you use the app to order the bookcase. They go to the IKEA, pick it up, bring it to your house, and build it for you.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
I mean,
and
what would
put
you
it in
pay
the
for
right
that?
space.
What would you pay for that? DoorDash for IKEA furniture.
Is it a third party, or are they like part of IKEA? Is it like IKEA Plus?
Third party. This is
third party.
This is I think IKEA offers this service of building this stuff for you.
They do
at your
actually,
house.
yeah.
What do they charge for it? I'm gonna look it
I don't
up.
know. I've never.
I'm
actually
really
done
interested now.
it. I'm a cheapskate, so I do it
Furniture
myself.
assembly with TaskRabbit. That's the company that does it. So there is a company that does this already. They have assembled 2.8 million IKEA furniture items and 330,000 beds. Anyway, I don't know. There's no pricing here. Book now.
Do you ever read that like
Assembly
article about the like lady that was she was like a cable repair person, and she would visit these homes like out in the middle of nowhere that like had something wrong with their cable, and it was kind of like this is a look at real America type of article, where it's like all these various people from all these different walks of life with their various income strata, and like the houses that she would go to fix the cable. And how like some of them would be like clearly like tense domestic situations and stuff like that.
No.
Okay.
But I believe it.
A Calix unit costs between $20 and $54 average assembly cost by TaskRabbit.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Does that cover their transportation coming over to your place to build it?
Yeah, it looks like it. So for a 17 by 17, so the biggest size,
17 by 17.
17 cubes plus is what it said. So if you have more, it depends on the squares and the Calix.
Okay.
That's how they're basing it. So if you have anything more than like a 4x4, they're going to charge you $105 to come to your house.
5x5 is big.
To come to your house and build it. It says the estimate is 1.75 hours at $58.82 an hour.
2 people? 3 people?
It doesn't matter. They charge $58 an hour to do it.
If it's just one person, man, that's...
Well, this guy is Pin L. It's that's the guy that's going to do it for you.
Wasn't that Superman's father?
I think so.
No, Pin L is that guy that I played Final Fantasy 11 with sometimes. And like he would join the server, and we would go take down a boss or 2.
You know what? I might use this service myself. Like when next time I buy something from IKEA, I might just pay TaskRabbit to assemble it for me at my house.
Well, if you get a Mickey desk, M-I-C-K-E.
Oh yeah, Mickey desk.
It's way more parts.
M-I-C-K-E.
Yep.
That's it.
One. That's it.
Okay, let's see how much that one costs. Oh, TaskRabbit.
Yeah, how much money could I have spent
now
and saved myself a couple of hours?
8409. That's my address. Assembly. 7. So this is very good.
Are we streaming this to Twitch? Because
This is all being streamed, baby. Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Bedrooms, wardrobes. Where would this be? Office. Mickey desk. MIC.
Yeah,
You can't search though. You can't search.
Work. Student desk. Work desk.
So desk, regular desk. This is a desk. No, does it have any drawers or doors on it?
Yeah, it has on one side. There's a little cabinet with a drawer, and then there's a
Okay.
main drawer under the.
So if I need this on September 5th, they're going to charge me $30.
$30.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I definitely spent about 2 hours of my time probably doing that, which my time's worth more than $30. So
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? This guy Michael C is going to charge you $28.23 an hour.
But do I have
for
to like
1
give him a
hour.
glass of water or anything? Because
I think he
Is he
brings his
gonna-
own water.
we take our shoes off in my house. Is he going to be awkward about that?
I don't think so. I think Michael C is pretty flexible with that. I'm gonna look at his profile.
Yeah. Does he have any like bad ratings?
Yeah, she's interested in helping people, and he likes hot summers. So I don't know.
Sounds suspicious to me.
I'm super using the
C.
service. I'm doing it. Okay, let's get this thing going. We've been recording for 10
All right.
minutes since we did the thing.
We have to pad it out. We don't have much content tonight, so
It's true. All right. Well, for those who are listening to the YouTube, they're going to get a bunch of bonus. Otherwise, they ain't get shit. None of it. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Game Bytes Show podcast. It's August the 22nd, 2022. 8/22/22. What do you think about that, Jeremy? Does that make you happy?
I think it's the last palindrome we have this year.
Wait,
Oh, yeah,
2,
easily.
2, 2, 2 equals 8. 8, 8.
Half-Life
64.
3 confirmed.
Not bad. Not bad.
Mhm.
I liked it. My name's LeGrand. There's Jeremy,
Hey
as
guys,
always, and Dale, also as always.
Hey, hey.
Jared is not here.
asleep like an old man.
Probably asleep. That's fine.
He's getting
That's
the
fine.
red eye
We only
to
need 3 of us to do this
shut
effectively.
downtown.
That's true.
Yeah. If you
The
do
fourth
not,
guy's just for moral support anyway.
if you don't tune into our YouTube stream, you should probably check it out. At least today, where we had a fantastic conversation about IKEA.
I had to check it out against my will.
Jeremy checked out while Dale and I talked about
you know
IKEA
what?
furniture.
I did a service to our Discord server users. I found 2 freebies over at GOG. Go check it out. In our Discord server. Exclusive.
Wow.
No one can get them except our Discord users.
This is great. So here is the question we're going to pose to our listeners. It has nothing to do with video games. If you could pay someone to build IKEA furniture for you, how much would you pay? What is your time worth to build IKEA furniture for you?
I'd give him a $5. I'm a big like, if I can do anything myself, because here's the thing. Whatever you reckon your time is worth, you're not getting paid for it, right? So there's a finite value to the dollars. Because it's like, well, could I spend somebody else to do this furniture, or could I pick up another record or something like that? Well, no matter how much my time is worth, the dollar amount.
Either
that
I'm
I
going to
spend
be
that guy
sitting
would
here
go to-
doing nothing or playing video games, or I'm building IKEA furniture.
Yeah,
Is
or
that your
like
angle?
whatever. Yeah, kind of. Something like that.
What if for me, I'm a busy guy? Say you're a busy guy.
I would never be that kind of.
We're just going to
high roller.
pose
Like,
the question in general. Would you
Okay,
pay
all right, that's
for
fine.
someone to assemble your IKEA furniture for you? And if so, how much would you pay
All right.
as a
Really good
premium to
question.
assemble
we
your
have 'em?
IKEA furniture?
Should we have them comment on the YouTube link? Should we have them posted in the Discord or
Just post on the
Tweet at
Discord
us.
in
Post it
the
in the
little podcast channel.
channel?
You know what you could do? In Oregon, we don't have sales tax. So if you're from a state that does have sales tax, get your IKEA from Oregon, and then just
Okay.
pay
Drive it on
the
down.
amount of tax that you would pay for sales tax in your state. Use that for the build IKEA fees. And
Oh my gosh, it's
This
brilliant.
sounds like one of those like an Arrested Development plot line where somebody decides they've got this great business idea to ship stuff from Oregon
I've got
to like all
I've got
over
news
the
for
place.
the Oregonians. 6% or whatever it is, 7% sales tax that we pay in Utah is not that much.
7% on everything you buy.
Yeah, but we also don't have to deal with like moss, so it's pretty all right.
Yeah,
it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
it's a trend. Worthwhile trade-off, 6% tax. How much do you spend on? I guess if you're spending what a family of my family of 5, we spend about $1,000 on groceries every month. So
that's like $60.
$60, right? I guess, right? That would pay to build my IKEA furniture.
Exactly.
Wow, you know what, man? I'm moving to Portland. Real estate in Portland. I'm looking it up right now.
It's high,
Real
dude.
estate in.
But worth it. So worth it.
I'm gonna live outside Portland, wherever you live. Is it high there too?
Oh yes, it is.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go far.
It's fine. No, I can afford this. Let's do this. Okay, never mind. $1.3 million. Some house
look
came up.
Look up comps to your current size house, and
okay, I can do that. I'm on Zillow. I can do this.
It might be about the same.
No, we'll find out. I've got
because real estate is high everywhere these days, and especially.
Oh, dude, look at this.
The nice areas around where you guys live, that valley there, like that's not cheap either.
No, it is not. Beaverton, Oregon. Okay, there's 42 houses listed in Beaverton. I'm moving out, dude. I'm coming to you,
Sweet.
sir.
Make sure you get a good school district.
Yeah, I don't know about
Beaverton
this.
School district is good, but like some of the schools are better than others.
You just got to provide the Liberty Brew. That's all.
Liberty Brew. Yeah. Or the Shark Bite
will pump
Brew.
the gas for you.
1.2 million for 5,200 square feet. That sounds about right.
Yeah. That computes.
Yeah, these are pretty pricey out there in Beaverton. Sorry, Portland. I'm not coming. You're losing out on me. $1 million for this ramshackle
more of a
house?
Gresham guy, LeGrand.
What was that?
You strike me as more of a Gresham guy.
Gresham, Oregon.
Check out Gresham.
How do I spell that?
Gresham.
What's Gresham? I've never even heard of that.
It's on the other side of Portland. It's over on the east side.
Oh, I want to hang out with you every weekend, though.
Well, it's not that far.
You can meet at neutral ground.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I got you.
We could meet at ground control.
Well, I've got to have a pool in the backyard. Is there a pool anywhere over here?
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
I like this place. I'm moving to Gresham. You know, as soon as my kids are out of school, I'm peacing out of Utah. How about that?
Sounds good.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Real Estate Show and IKEA Furniture Extravaganza, brought to you by the Game By Show. Listen, the news is a little light today. Therefore, this
is what you come here for.
Dumb conversations about dumb stuff. That's what we do. Welcome to the show. What do we have to talk about today? We have video games to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about a game I've been playing. I've been playing a mobile game and by mobile I mean portable, handheld, on the 3DS. I've been playing on the 2DS because I like the 2DS, quite honestly. I think Dale knows this. The 2DS Wedge is a nice little system, right? It's pretty sweet.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I have been playing Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
Ooh.
This is one of those entries in the Mario and Luigi series. I think there's probably 6 of these games now.
Is it literally part of the same series? I mean, is it, because I always thought it was maybe like some kind of spin-off or something. But maybe
they're not sequels, but they're all like the same game with different storylines, right?
Some of them are there's the Bean Kingdom and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and 2.
That's what I mean.
It's like they're characters,
and they have the one where the babies Mario and Luigi, they have the Partners in Time. That's the baby one, right? Partners in Time.
Right. And then
so they had them on the GBA. I think the GBA started this. Then they had them on the DS. Now they have them on the 3DS.
Yep.
And so I actually have Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I also have Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, which is the one I'm playing. I don't know which one came out first, but it's the one that I landed on to play.
Okay.
How is it? It's one of those games. These are like spiritual successors to Super Mario RPG, right? They kind of feel
kind of
they got a little bit of dumb platforming, and like a little 3D, like a top down, not top down, but like an isometric, 3/4 view. A little bit of light, platforming around. You've got jumping and hitting blocks and getting coins, and then you have your battles, which are timing based, turn based battles, right? Where just like in Final Fantasy VIII, if you pull the trigger on the gun blade, you're gonna do extra damage, right? And so Luigi will jump on enemies, and if you time the jump and you with a button press, then you do extra damage. But don't do the jump attacks on the Lakitus, the little spiky guys, because you'll actually take damage if you do that. So you got to use your hammer. That's important. This game is one of those games. There's lots of these Mario and Luigi games, and they all are kind of the same. It's been a long time since I played one, probably a decade, if not more. Probably more. It's been more than a decade since I played one of these. Maybe 15 years since I played one of these games.
Oh, wow.
And like I haven't played since probably Partners in Time, actually, quite honestly. Like, and the 3DS ones are at this point pretty old. Partners in Time is probably the last one I played. That one probably came out 15 years ago, if I had to guess, when the DS was out. It was a DS game, if I remember right. These are all great games. And the thing that the hook on this one is that it's Paper Jam. So in the very opening sequence of the story, Luigi is in a like a custodian closet in the Princess Peach's castle,
where he belongs.
Yeah, and he comes across a book, and the book is the book that houses the entire Paper Mario Mushroom Kingdom. And he accidentally opens it. It's a crossover. So he actually opens it up, and suddenly all of the Paper Mario characters, the bad guys, Mario and Princess and Bowser Jr. and all the Goombas and the Koopa Troopas and all those dudes come flying out, and they infect the world. And so now you not only have one Bowser to deal with, but you have the Paper Mario Bowser too. So you have Paper Bowser and regular Bowser in Mario and Luigi. So that's the hook. That's the storyline in this game. And so they come and they actually kidnap both Princess Peaches, because they're both here now. The princess who is the Paper Mario princess. And the animation, the thing is like, from what I can tell from the Paper Mario games I've played, the Paper Mario games and the Mario and Luigi games share a lot of the same DNA. They say they're basically the same style of RPGs, timing based. They'll each have like their own separate type of hook,
right?
Or something that makes it a little bit
some new
different.
Dumb character that they just invent for the one game, and then
or some new weird mechanic and that they'll throw in there. And so in this case, like all of the animation, all the animation is there. So so you're running around an actual 3D Mario world, but you have the Paper Mario enemies that you come across. You have the Paper Mario who actually joins your team. So rather than Mario and Luigi, it's actually Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario, and you're all part of the same team, and you're running around. So you actually have three characters.
All these silent protagonists. I bet the dialogue is.
Well, Mario and Luigi have their little garbly garble. Right? Exactly.
Like something
so it has
kind
that,
of like
which I absolutely love that. I love that stuff for some
too.
dumb reason. I think that's super awesome.
I have always been like super charmed by that whole series.
Yeah. And then the Paper Mario, of course, doesn't talk, because Paper Mario doesn't talk in any of the Paper Mario games. So he doesn't talk, but his animation's there. And the trick with him is he actually can like replicate himself. So he actually, in combat, there's actually 6 Paper Marios. And so the enemy doesn't do damage to him until he actually kills off all of these copies of himself, because he can copy himself. And when you attack, you actually attack with all 6 Paper Marios at once. And so there's all this weird mechanics around that are built around the paper stuff. And so the enemy, so you'll come across a fight with like a Goomba, like a handful of Goombas, and you'll have a regular Goomba and you'll have a paper Goomba. And they have slightly different attacks, slightly different patterns. So it kind of like doubles the enemy rate, So I came across like those tall guys from Super Mario 2 that...
Oh, the Pokies, the cactuses?
Yeah, the big cactus guys. So I came across 2 of those was the boss fight. So there was a paper version and there was a regular version. Sometime when you're fighting, you'll like... it'll like switch to... There's all these like little mini games built into the combat. And like the bros attacks, like your magic attacks require button presses. And so some of that stuff is built off of... Paper Mario. So there's this one where like the enemies will come, the perspective of the screen will change, and the enemies are all running towards you, and you're running towards the camera, like in Crash Bandicoot style. And the Paper Mario transforms and folds himself into a paper airplane. He's flying above you, and as the enemies attack, you have to jump up with the respective Mario and Luigi and grab onto the paper plane and dodge the attack.
And do they do the thing where each character has its own assigned button or whatever, where you have to like do the
Yep, so instead of A and B for just Mario and Luigi, you also have Y, which is Paper Mario's jump button. So when you're dodging attacks with him or selecting attacks, you're using Y to jump for him. So anyway, it's I'm having a pretty damn good time with it. I think I've probably only finished like maybe one Paper Mario game. I've played a handful of them, but never really got terribly deep into them. I do have Paper Mario Sticker Star on the 3DS as well, which I haven't really got into yet. But like I said, from what I remember from the Paper Mario games, they seem like basically Mario and Luigi games with a different aesthetic, right? Like you have the paper style, which I actually think is pretty fun and pretty cool. I really like
from
the animation.
From what I remember, isn't it like where the paper, like maybe if they're all from Paper Mario Land, it's all different. But I thought there was something about how it was like real world art or stickers or something mixed in with the
Sticker Star.
Sticker Star
like that?
does that.
Maybe
Sticker Star is a little bit
okay.
where you have to like find stickers, and that's actually becomes your attacks and stuff like that.
Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. How's the writing? Because I always found, like, for me the charm was almost always like the cute writing. Like they always won me over with like just little jokes, and
it's pretty good. I started playing this yesterday, and I played quite a bit. I played a lot yesterday, and I played a lot today. And I think the writing is good. Since the characters don't actually talk, like Mario and Luigi don't actually talk, they give you this little floating star man that follows you around and kind of tells you things and kind of keeps the narrative going a little bit with him. Like, oh, you need to do this, or oh, there's these bad guys over here, we better do this, and that type of thing.
Right.
And there's a lot of like little weird mini games in this where it's like, hey, you need to run and catch these guys, or there's like this mini game like boss battle where the paper guys have come into town, but this world has cardboard, right? It's better than paper. So they construct like these paper craft versions of like a Goomba or a whatever. And then so your toads, they construct a paper craft version of Mario, which is made out of cardboard, and these tall things that Mario and Luigi stand on top of, and you control them around this little mini game of sorts in certain combat areas. So there's all these like weird little things to do, and you can actually go back and replay them and
little diversions,
do little challenges of them and things like that. And
that's cute. I didn't realize this whole time that was a crossover between those two RPG series. I actually find that really intriguing, and somehow I went this whole time and did not know that until just now.
I didn't know until I was looking up 3DS games that I wanted to get, and then I was like watching trailers and like, oh, this one's Mario and Luigi games are all pretty good, and I was like looking at them like, oh wow, like this is crossover, like weird stuff. And
was this
the animation's great.
Was this a digital purchase, or did you get a copy of the game?
This is a copy of the game. So
was it like super expensive?
This one wasn't too bad. Like some of these are like I bought Dream Team. I bought Dream Team. And
have you found like a still existent like Game Crazy store or something with like a bin of used DS games or what? Like
they have one here. I bought all of my 3DS off of eBay, or Amazon still has a bunch of stuff there too. So I think Dream Team I bought off of Amazon.
Amazon would have stuff like that, wouldn't they?
They still have like I bought Samus Returns from Amazon.
Amazon has somehow, I went looking at something, and now Amazon has been advertising like PlayStation 2 broadband adapters and stuff to me. Like it's actually up my alley.
Here we go.
But I'm like, why would you? And it's in stock from some third party sale. It's like $800.
Jeremy, we could play SOCOM, U.S. Navy.
I actually have a PlayStation 2 with a broadband adapter in it, within spitting distance. So
I used to.
We could do that.
I think I sold mine.
No.
So Paper Jam is $30 on Amazon. And
that's not bad.
I probably paid about that for it.
Yeah. That's not bad.
So yeah, it's good. It's a good one of those. I also have Dream Team, which I also hear is very well done. So I don't know. I probably won't be able to play two of these back to back, but at least I have a pile of Mario and Luigi games to get me by for a while.
As much as I like the series, I think the last one I played was Bowser's Inside Story, and by the end, I was kind of ready for it to be over. So
that's the one that was like the remake of the DS for the 3DS, and they added like a bunch of other stuff. Is that right?
They did do that actually. They did do Bowser's Inside Story something subtitle or something.
I thought Bowser's Inside Story was the subtitle.
No, Bowser's Inside Story, because it was Bowser's Inside Story.
Plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. So this was the remake of the DS version for the 3DS, and they added stuff to it.
Yes,
does that sound right?
Yes. Yeah. And
Paper Mario 3, no, Mario and Luigi RPG, Bowser's Inside Story.
Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. Then they remade it. It was a DS game. They remade it for the 3DS. They added some additional content. And now it's kind of like what they just did for Super Mario 3D Land or 3D
Yeah,
World
3D
with
World with us,
Oliver.
Bowser
Bowser
something.
Fury.
Bowser
Yeah.
Fury,
So kind of like that same style where they.
You guys, I bet that was even 6 years ago.
Probably.
That was I bought that game the last time I was in Japan in like 2019 before this most recent time.
With a Bowser's Fury or whatever?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
All right.
There was also like, I thought you got the
Luigi...
Super Mario All-Stars 2 with like Super Mario Galaxy or something. Didn't you buy that?
I
feel like
got
you talked
that.
about getting
That was the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I think it was.
Yeah.
With Isle Delfino, Sunshine,
Yeah, Sunshine.
and 64 and
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Galaxy 1, but not Galaxy 2, I think.
Right. They're saving that for the next Super Mario
Stupid.
All-Stars.
Galaxy 2 is really good. They're both really good.
Yeah, they're both good.
I think we had this conversation years ago where I, instead of buying like a Wii U, I like bought a bunch of Wii games or something for Christmas, and because I hadn't played like Mario Galaxy or Galaxy 2, and I hadn't played a whole bunch of Wii stuff.
Why buy these expensive remakes? Get the originals. And...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's I'd recommend Mario and Luigi games. The 3DS is a fantastic system. It's a shame that we're never going to see dual screen stuff because I really think that stuff is good. You know,
LeGrand, when are you going to get around to playing like Shin Megami Tensei 4?
I have that. I have a physical copy of that game.
On the, because there's actually 2 of those on 3DS, because there's 4 and then there's like 4 Apocalypse.
There's like 4 Devil Survivor. There's like a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch more too. There's also the remake of Strange Journey. This is the original Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey that was a DS game. DS, yeah. And then there's the remake of that, which is the 3DS game. And you should play both of those, either of those.
I have a physical copy of Shin Megami Tensei 4, and I've tried to play it before, and it always gets really hard. Or it's like you have to talk to the dudes and convince them to join your team or whatever. And it's all. I think I need to play it again, but not, and like see if I can tune down the difficulty, because I always get like frustrated with it. That's what always happens.
I think you're now in the like correct mind space. Like you have been on this DS sojourn for so long now. That
when I bought that game, I bought it to actually play it. I just never did. You know, like I played it a bit, and then I got to a point where I was like frustrated trying to do this fight over and over again and losing.
The Etrian Odyssey series.
I don't have any of those. I've heard those are really good though, where you have to like draw the maps and stuff like that. Is that the ones?
Those are cool. I'll tell you, the Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, that's basically an Etrian Odyssey game, but with the SMT stuff on it, skin basically. So check out either of those. Either get one of the Etrian Odyssey games or that one and check them out. Yeah, because they do have the like, you're going square by square through a 3D rendered dungeon, and you have to map it out on the bottom screen and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like what is the one called? What's the 3DS one called? Legends of the Titan?
Oh,
does that sound right? Etrian Odyssey 4, Legends of the Titan.
Oh, maybe.
There's a few of them on there.
I finished the first game, and that was like enough for one lifetime. So.
Yeah,
I played a lot of that Etrian Odyssey.
I'm hoping that at some point before the eShop shuts down in like March, that a lot of the stuff will just go on sale, like fire sale, like get it while you can.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't ever go on fire sale, as soon as the eShop closes, I'm pirating the shit out of stuff that I can't get at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna end up doing. So like, I'm sure that Etrian Odyssey games are pretty pricey at this point. Shin Megami Tensei 4 is worth about $120 for a physical copy of it right now on eBay. And so as soon as Nintendo's not selling me that stuff at MSRP, like I'm happy to pay $40 for Paper Jam, like I paid it, you know, but as soon as I can't get that stuff, man, it's Pirate City. Like, yeah, sorry, Nintendo, don't shut down your eShop if you don't want people buying your stuff, you know. So anyway,
that's true. Well,
that's it.
I played something this week, and
I doubt it.
I went looking around for something on the PlayStation Plus extra tier that I'm on. I'm on the middle tier. I didn't go for.
That's what I'm on.
No,
I'm on the premium. I have premium.
A little bit, Dale. I am a little bit. But this time I decided that I wanted to play something with one of my daughters, and so I went looking around for couch co-op games. And there actually are a few. I was kind of impressed. They have a few on there that you can play with because I bought my PlayStation 5 with 3 controllers because I just felt like I had to do that, and it might have been a mistake, but fine. It's fine, whatever.
Because
And
you'll get drift at some point. Somebody will spill soda all over your controller.
Those things are like $80 too. Jeez.
I know.
But I decided to go with something. And in fact, originally I downloaded Balan Wonderworld because I was like, how bad can this thing be? I did play that a little bit, but I'm not going to talk about it this week because it was kind of bad and weird. But as we were doing that, it was like a 20 gig game or something. It was going to take a little while to download. So I found something else on there that was like a gig, and it was called Kiwi. That's KEYWWE. Kiwi. And it is about a couple of kiwi birds in Australia, New Zealand, whatever. They have a flag, and I actually don't know the difference between the New Zealand and the Australian flag. So if somebody can figure that out real quick. But anyway,
one of them has the Union Jack in the corner.
Yeah, yes, which one? Anyway, that's the one it is, and there's
Australia.
That is Australia.
Okay, Australia. And you jump off of a bus, and you arrive in town, and you, as one or two Kiwis, and so we played as two, you decide to take a job posting at the local post office, or telepost they call it. I don't know if that's actually an Australian term. And this game is like a cheapy sort of like low to mid-tier kind of game, but it's really adorable because basically the idea of it is you play a bunch of sort of mini games. They're bigger than mini games because it's not like Mario Party. It's bigger than that. You might play 5 to maybe 8 minutes on a given task. And what they do is you're these tiny little Kiwis, but you have to make this post office run. And so you do things like transcribing audio messages using little snippets of words to kind of get somebody's message into writing, which you then put on a what are those big birds called? Not the like ossuaries or something like that. I can't remember what they're called. That's a cassowary. Cassowary, yes, cassowaries. So you go and you put those on some cassowaries who are going to run your message off. And you do things like getting packages and putting heavy or fragile or urgent labels on the boxes and sending them off to the right place in this fictionalized Australia. Or you might do, mail sorting, or you might do all kinds of things. And it gets pretty complicated pretty quickly because there are some things like, for example, when you're going to transcribe, you have to have 2 Kiwis, one to hit the shift key on the typewriter and one to jump on, because they're just little and they do these little butt stomp moves, or they have their stupid Kiwi beaks and you can like peck stuff. And so every game that you play is a combination of either like butt stomping or pecking with your dumb beak, or they have a thing where and they have all these side missions that are not related. It's like the Kiwi overtime bin of jobs you can do. And some of them are things like playing the telepost anthem. And it's like this really small little like Guitar Hero type thing where you have these notes coming down. And your Kiwi can either butt stomp a drum, he can squawk into a tuba, or you can peck at a bell. And it plays this whole fanfare.
This makes me think of Pingu, the show Pingu.
Kind of. And like the Kiwis don't talk. They're just like these dumb little Kiwis. And you have a boss and he tells you what to do, but for some reason he's just hired these Kiwis. And then you can you earn stamps from these things. And it's based on either time or how much you can do in a certain amount of time. And they'll give you stamps. And then you can use these stamps to play, or rather to customize your Kiwis. And it's super cute. It's super, super cute. And both my daughter and I was like, this is stupid. But then it was like, oh my gosh, I can give my Kiwi aviator glasses, or like I can make him like fluffy colors or whatever. And it's just adorable. And for like, I swear, for the first probably 20 to 30 minutes, everything these Kiwis did, she was like, aw, like they're just like really cute, dumb little birds. And the game is pretty simple after you play. So there's also a progression. So it's not just like you go in and it's just dumb party time and you just play the same thing over and over, because it's just 2 players. So it's not like party competition. You're always playing cooperatively for these Kiwis to run this telepost, this post office. So the game actually progresses, and every week, so that there's a calendar that's sort of organized by weeks. And on every week, there's a different task that you are going to do. And it eventually starts progressing you through seasons. So some of the games that you're playing are seasonal. And when you do them, they're done, and you can go back if you want to earn more stars or stamps, I guess in this case. But the game actually progresses. So in the summertime, which is where you start, you might have some because the same tasks get more complicated as you go. So when you're transcribing, eventually you get a vine infestation, and the vines are like creeping over and pressing some of the buttons for you. So you've got to go and peck the vines away and correct the bad typo that they made and whatever. And honestly, it's kind of super frustrating. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this, but then it's also kind of satisfying. And then you get stamps and you can go customize your Kiwi some more and get like a fluffy beard or like a mohawk feather that goes down the back of your back or whatever. And somehow this stupid game actually is kind of like addictive and engaging and fun. And the
Does it have
Kiwis are super cute.
microtransactions?
You actually can buy a Kiwi pack from the PlayStation Store, but it's totally optional. You don't have to pay anything if you are using PlayStation Plus, and it is available on the extra tier, so it's the middle tier. You can download it and play it, and the thing is that every time you start, so I was like, you know what, I can figure out how to run a post office as a Kiwi, no problem. But every game gives you the chance to do the tutorial. I recommend doing the tutorial because these. To get anything done in this post office is super convoluted. Like there's like both she and I were like, this is a lot. Like just to get an audio message transcribed into writing, it's like, why are we doing all of this? But in the end, like by the time we would figure out how to do a level, we were like, yeah, like this is cool. And that anthem, that fanfare is hilarious. It's just like big bonging drums and big like bombastic horns, and like you bong this bell, and it's just like super adorable.
All right, I'm downloading this right now.
Yeah, like you kind of should. In my household, we have a history going back to like PlayStation 3 or so of finding these like little like C-level games. Like Hamster Ball was one of my kids' favorite games, and it was just this dumb thing that is probably like worth being a mobile game now, but they used to love playing Hamster Ball, and I kind of got that same sense from
Is it anything like
Kiwi.
Monkey Ball?
A little bit, yes. In fact, except you're in your hamsters, and the animation was bad. The collision detection was not very good. Like the courses were only moderately well designed, but they would play it for hours. And so I kind of kicked off Balan Wonderworld, kind of kicked it to the curb, and decided, we're gonna play this dumb little game Kiwi. And it was super fun, and just for dumb reasons too. Like I can't even tell you that it's a well crafted game, but it is kind of cute with like attention to detail, and it's just stupid, but it's actually really good. And so if you have the PlayStation Plus extra tier, you would probably scroll right past this and not even. In fact, I think this is one where I went and tried to look at the preview images and they wouldn't even load on the store. Like I really went into this like I went into this ready to just like hate and despise it and me. But it's actually really cute and really good. And if it ever goes on a sale on other platforms, and especially if you have someone to play with, and especially if it's your 6th grade daughter, let's say.
Yeah, my daughter's in 5th grade. Like that's what I'm thinking.
5th grade.
We've played a bunch of Overcooked together, and I think that this might be another one of those good co-op games.
Yeah, my daughter really going into 6th grade is way into Animal Crossing still. I think I mentioned last week resetting the island. In fact,
how's that going? Benevolent dictatorship?
In fact, yeah, like I said to these guys earlier, I was like, I hadn't played a video game week actually, but that's not true. I did play some Animal Crossing, and I got to the point where I've got my house built and started going around collecting, various things, seashells, fruit, bugs.
So I remember at the beginning. I remember at the beginning, you were sort of like the first couple of weeks, you were like, "What is this?" Like I'm curious to know on the New Game Plus version, like how's it going? Like, is it you know exactly where you're going, what you're doing?
I've only done a couple of sessions. She is definitely spearheading everything. I mean, she's got like the whole like Blathers Museum is already built, and I'm pretty sure Able Sisters is there today, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, it's all rolling. She has to get all of the like all the like little home spots filled in, because what she wants to do is like go on to like a villager hunt. Like she basically wants to collect all her favorite
hunting
villagers.
The specific ones. Yeah, okay. There
you go. So she'll kick out the ones that she doesn't like, and find these certain ones that she really wants. But me, I'm just basically content to like. So the first time through the game, we used the like a website where you can go on there and like find people who are buying turnips for the high price, right? So you
Oh,
can
yeah,
get
I've
your
done that. I've done that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good way to get a lot of money. But so we did that for a while, and until we like the whole family, we all had our houses like completely, we had all our rooms, and then I don't think after that, I don't think anybody bothered to pay off the last
Right.
mortgage or whatever. But yeah, so after I had all my rooms and had decked out everything, and like each one had its own little theme, and it was all just so. After that, I was kind of like, I'm done. Um,
I can die now.
but yeah, now that she's reset the island, it's like, well, maybe I could maybe do another house and another 6 rooms.
Alternate reality.
And this time, I'm not going to waste my bells on just like random crap that shows up in the store.
Oh, no.
Like I don't need like a one of those like scientific and anatomical models of like the body with vascular systems and all that stuff.
Here's what
Um,
here's what you should do. You should instead of you should go all the way and become like a power player. I want to see you max out your Happy Room Academy score.
oh
I want
no, I
to I
don't
want
have
to
the
see you like
time.
actually. No,
I
okay.
don't
So
have the
there's
time.
that's where you draw the
I don't
line.
have the time or the will. She might do that. I mean, but she'll probably get distracted once school actually starts.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
But yeah, no, Animal Crossing is good. Actually, I will very quickly. The reason why I haven't really played much at all this last week is because I was like wood shedding, I think is the term. Do you know what that means?
Does that mean you're
LeGrand, you're in a
hanging out?
band. You know what that means? No, it's like you're like your nose to the grindstone, like really like practicing and like trying to nail some stuff down. And that's because I went to a war game tournament on Saturday for Horus Heresy, the new Age of Darkness, the new Warhammer game.
Hmm.
And it was super cool. I'd been wanting to get out and play this like new rule set, the new edition of this game that I'd never gotten to play before and really wanted to. But in order to do that, I had to like take all my models that I have that are nominally for 40K, which is a different game system altogether, figure out how to and which ones to take and like how to form them up into the units appropriate to 30K. And then once I had that list of like, well, this is what I could possibly draw into an army list, I had to like whittle it down to something that was, in fighting shape, basically. And so for a good like solid week and a half, I had my whole like gaming setups like in our other room, like with a couple of like party tables like put together and like all my like play mat and like terrain and all this crap set up. And I was like playing out like solo style, like just game turns back and forth, trying to figure out like, is this unit good? Does it stand up against this type of unit? Can I take this type of unit? Because I'm sure that they're going to be bringing all these dreadnoughts and like stuff. And the answer is mostly no. I could not stand up to dreadnoughts, but I could kite them effectively because the army that I play, the White Scars, are known for their like high mobility. So what you can do is you can basically just run away from something that you don't want to get near you, and then you can like go and play the objective game rather than like trying to smash that up or something. So I focused on like little tricks like that, and got to the event, which was way over in Vancouver. And if I say Vancouver, you're thinking British Columbia, but it's actually Vancouver, Washington, which is just across the Columbia from Portland. So it's about an
Not bad.
hour away from my house because I have to like drive through Portland up into Vancouver and all that. But yeah, so I got up early on Saturday because the games were going to start at 9 a.m. Right, so I got up, drove all the way over there, and I met a few guys for the first time, and it was cool. We just had it was set up in this place, this new miniatures game store. It's called Mind Taker Minis, and they got this new location that they only moved into a couple of months ago, and it's like one of the coolest stores I've ever been into because a lot of game stores you go into and it's like there's a lot of board games, there's like D&D stuff, there's like puzzles and stuff. This is nothing but like war games miniatures, right? So you got like all the Warhammer 40K stuff, you got like tons of like other game systems, like historical
Axis and
game systems.
Allies, all those old school ones,
all that stuff, like all that like hardcore.
There's a place like that in Utah as well that
it's super cool,
has all that, or by Jeremy's
and then of course
house,
they had all these like game tables set up, and there was one of the guys who was organizing the tournament event is one of the people that works there, so of course he had access to like prizes and all this other stuff. They actually had a little kitchenette even, so like just kind of as a joke, they said anybody who wants a free Mountain Dew can have them because they had this like case of Mountain Dew in the fridge that they were trying to get rid of and nobody wanted this. And they ordered in pizza, because it's a typically when you do one of these like Warhammer events, it's like a 3-round tournament thing, and each round is like 2.5 or 3 hours, right? But then they provided pizza for lunch after like the first round. So then,
Wow.
yeah, it was just I got to go and play against some other dudes, and my record on the day was 1-2, which is not terrible, I
Not
guess.
bad. Yeah.
Not terrible. But yeah, I had a good time, and looking forward to doing it again at some point when I can take a whole Saturday to go and roll dice
Oh,
and
yeah.
not get too much of a guilt trip for it. So, but that was the
Real
major
cool.
gaming that I've been doing and like prepping for like a few weeks now. So actually, I'm just still sort of decompressing from that and ready to do some more digital gaming soon.
Nice.
Cool. Well, I've got some new releases. That's what we do next.
All right.
Courtesy of tech-gaming.com, we have 3 on our list today. Madden 23, boys. It's out.
Uh-oh.
Who's getting it?
Uh-oh.
Maybe on Game Pass.
Not me.
Maybe on Game Pass. You're going to check it out, Jeremy? No, you won't.
No. I will say I do enjoy sports games when I play them, but
they have EA sports games on Game Pass?
EA Play is part of Game Pass, so once they get old enough, they put them on the EA Play.
NBA 2K is on there, I think, right now.
Yeah, the NBA 2K from last year and the Madden from last year is on Game Pass, so you can play.
Oh.
So once the Super Bowl happens, they release that year's game to Game Pass.
Do you think that would affect the sales of this year's Madden?
If they had it on Game Pass?
No, if last year's is still freely available on Game Pass.
No,
I know at least a couple of guys that play Madden, and they'll like skip a year or two. They'll be like,
"Oh, really?"
They're just still happy with the one that they have, and they don't really feel like they have to upgrade yet.
Yeah, my son plays Madden a bit. I don't know. I think he would be happy with whatever Madden he had. He would want the new one, but he'd probably be okay with the old one.
I can coast on any given year's version of any given sports game for about 10 years. So
I'm still playing Madden 2 or Madden 2K1 or NFL 2K1. That's what I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
On the Dreamcast.
I'm still playing Cool Borders.
Also, Path of Exile, Lake of Calandra. This is the newest DLC expansion, whatever you want to say. This free-to-play game. It's free, so new Path of Exile content coming out. Also, Saints Row. This is the
rebooted dark and gritty version.
Yeah,
Saints Row.
That's right. So that's out this week as well. We have a few leaked new Destiny guns coming straight from my contact at Bungie. So thank you.
Is your contact at Pinkerton? Is that why it's Strike Buster Prototype?
I'm not going to tell you.
Is he an anti-unionist?
Yeah, Strike Buster Prototype. No, well, in Destiny, that's what they call the dungeons. They're strikes. There's strikes. That's the name of the dungeons in Destiny.
Sure.
Yeah,
there's no political messaging here.
No, I don't know where you're getting that from, really. Strike Buster Prototype. That's our first Destiny gun that's coming out. It's an assault rifle. That's it. Just basic assault rifle. It's fine.
Yeah.
Arenas of Tanks. This is a new Destiny gun coming out. It's probably a rocket launcher, if I had to guess.
It shoots.
It's a MIRV.
Yeah, usually, so our source does not give us like the type of gun. He just gives us the name. So it's up to us to really determine what it might be. Also, Sir Whoop-Ass Immortal Death. This is
one of those like two-handed swords that the Titan gets or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's got
Sir Whoop-Ass Immortal Death.
I didn't see this in the list on my my Destiny guns list. I don't know where this came from.
I got this as a secret last minute dispatch. You can actually find it in the PC. I mean, sorry, in the it's down there.
This looks pretty damn
Immortal
good.
Death reminds me of like there's like the title of one Warhammer novel called Terminal Overkill, which is brilliant.
I hate all of that. I hate all of it.
It's fine.
Well, let's see here. We got some deals and freebies. A bunch of stuff is coming to Game Pass, and a bunch of stuff is actually leaving Game Pass. And the lists are both kind of substantial and both good for the stuff that's coming in, kind of bad for the stuff that's leaving. Coming on, a couple of them that I recognize here: Midnight Fight Express, which is sort of an open world, kind of an isometric brawler. So if you imagine like River City Ransom or something, but kind of a top down sort of view, looks kind of cool. Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is one of those Ubisoft games that I always kind of was like, oh, that's kind of curious, but I never actually wanted to pay for it.
I played a bit of it. It's fine. It's not.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. The leaving list is kind of disturbing though. Hades is leaving Game Pass, and that's where I've been playing it like exclusively. And I guess that's where I must have seen the NBA 2K22 because it looks
I
like
guess
that's
this
going
is
off there as
the kind
well.
of like every now and then the downside of Game Pass. That
Yeah,
something good
exactly.
leaves it.
Also leaving Spiritfarer, What Remains of Edith Finch, 2 Point Hospital. I actually want to say the stuff that's leaving is more interesting to me than the stuff that's coming on. But
Hmm.
anyhow, so be
There's no
aware of
Kiwi
that.
coming on, so that's what I'm disappointed in,
No,
honestly.
PlayStation's putting the smackdown on Game
Yeah,
Pass
they've got
this
the
month for
the
sure.
ringer of
That's
that.
right.
Speaking of
Kiwi.
PlayStation, I played
Yeah.
the latest Tony Hawk remaster 1 and 2 that was
Oh, yeah.
free. I super don't ever want to play Tony Hawk games ever again.
Really?
Like in
That's
that
fine.
iteration, like I want Skate. That's what I want. Like Tony Hawk just
Yeah.
ain't doing it for me.
Skate
I tried to
4?
play it, and despite having played hundreds of hours of Tony Hawk 1 and 2, man, nah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Dale's
no, thank you.
Dale's got a point though. Be careful what you wish for because Skate 4 is
Skate
incoming.
4.
So we'll
Hell
have to
yeah,
see how that-
I'm ready for it, man. I actually signed up for the
Alright.
playtest to be a
Skate 4 after like the massive outcry.
NDA beta
they're finally
tester of
doing it, right?
Skate. I would totally play that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, out in the news, a few things going on this week. This one is probably the big one this week. Is the Embracer Group that comes into our field of vision from time to time has embraced several.
Where did these guys come
studios.
from? They just like showed up and started buying everything.
I feel like they're sort of like the Bethesda, or who is it who owns Bethesda? What is that? ZeniMax. Yes, they're like the ZeniMax, like a bunch of guys with some money kind of got together and they've just been rolling this like death ball, like a Katamari through all of these.
Apparently so.
So they got a few things here, which is
Embracer Group is from
interesting.
Sweden, of all places.
Yeah, they're European, so they've been
around since the 90s, 2011. Sorry, my bad. They came from
Also part of Embracer
Nordic
Group,
Games is where they came from.
which was the company that I think originally revived
THQ, right?
THQ. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so they've just somehow built that into
THQ
like this weird-
Nordic is where Nordic Games went to eventually.
Yeah. So a few things that they acquired this week: Limited Run, which is the they release a lot of physical editions of things. A lot of vinyl soundtracks actually come from that, so it'll be interesting to see if anything changes there. Tripwire Interactive, which is known, I think, most for Killing Floor.
And the Red Orchestra series, which was very cool. But yeah, they certainly, I think, struck it much bigger with Killing Floor than Red Orchestra.
Yeah, that's right. Some of the rest of these, I don't actually recognize the names of a lot of these studios. Tatsujin, Tuxedo Labs, Geotech, Bitwave, Synctrix, but some of the names of the games that they have shipped include Shantae, Super Meat Boy, River City Girls, Teardown, Maneater, the Shark Evolution game, and Gimmick, which is kind of interesting. So in addition to this, the really weird one is that they have acquired, now I'm not quite sure what to make of this, but they acquired the rights to I guess the source material for Middle Earth properties, I guess.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well,
did you mention that they own Gearbox? Did you know that? Did you read that?
Embracer owns tons of stuff. Like actually, breaking news: Embracer now owns the Game
Deep
Bytes
Silver
podcast. They own all kinds of stuff, and so this is just the latest acquisition. They've been rolling like all kinds of stuff into
for like the last couple of years.
Whatever it is,
3D Realms is theirs. Tripwire, Zen Studios. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Zen does all that pinball stuff. Yeah, exactly right. But the again, the weird thing here is the right to Middle Earth Enterprises, which owns an extensive collection of motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, stage productions, and the literary works themselves. Now, I don't know if that means they own them or they just have the right to use them in addition to others who have. Yeah, exactly, or exactly what. But I think it means. They have the right,
I think they probably own them, right? Like,
yeah, I think so. And they paid like it was something really. It was like $800,000. I seem to remember. It was like something. Maybe I didn't see a dollar amount, but something about it seemed like it was not much that they paid, or like you would think it would be, like $4 billion for Star Wars or whatever it is.
You know what's really strange is that like Games Workshop makes the Middle Earth strategy battle game or whatever. Like Jared has that, right? Like said he was painting those miniatures and stuff, and so that makes me wonder like. Are they like are they losing the license, or is it like one of those things where like it could be
I
like
think it might mean that they own
multiple
top
people, or like
level, and then they now are the
they're
licensors
the
for the
licensor?
other.
Yeah,
They
maybe.
own Middle Earth Enterprises, according to Wikipedia. They own now Middle Earth, and they own everything having to do with Lord of the Rings is theirs now. Like
Weta
Weird.
Workshop.
I mean, they can
own
do
that.
whatever they want. I mean, Weta was never owned part of Lord of the Rings. They were
Right.
just contracted to do whatever they
Yeah.
did.
It was like the
right?
Industrial Light and Magic for
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to do a Lord of the Rings, so I guess they own whatever royalties are coming out of this Amazon series is going to them, like all that
I
stuff.
They
wonder-
own
right?
the meats back on the menu meme.
the meat's back on the menu, boy.
Yeah,
I
they own
wonder if
that. Every time
they-
you use it, they get paid a quarter. And every time,
Yeah.
if they could bring back the New Line Cinema, like the actual like movie, because there was a hot couple years there
yeah.
where all of the Middle Earth movies, or all the Middle Earth games were based on the
Yeah, that
movie
Final Fantasy
properties.
X style RPG.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that game
Middle Earth Conquest or something, or the
I
Battlefield
played that
type
Battle for
game.
Middle Earth, or no, that wasn't what it's called. I know what you're talking about.
Because there was
though.
Battle for Middle Earth was the RTS game. Middle Earth Conquest.
There
I
was a
think, the
PlayStation 2
Battlefield
game that I had.
style game. War in the North, I think. Is
There was
what
like a
they
trilogy
That sounds
of
right.
PlayStation 2
Yeah.
games where it was like a brawler style, right?
There's Return of the
Action
King. They did a Two Towers
Yes.
game on the PlayStation
And-
2.
and those were just named out, but they didn't have a Fellowship. They started with Two Towers.
No, they had
and then Return of
Fellowship.
the King.
Didn't
Not
they?
as a brawler though. Like what Dale's talking about is like there was like
Oh.
a Golden Axe style kind
Yeah.
of brawling.
I played
kind of
like
game.
the turn-based RPG,
the
JRPG
Final Fantasy
style.
X style.
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, I played
I
that.
played that too.
I
Or at
always
least
wanted to
part of
play,
it.
but I
That was
never
like
did.
2006. Like that was like
Yeah.
forever ago.
Long
Yeah,
time ago.
it was.
Anyway,
it was a
long
while
time
ago.
ago.
So if
So
they
who knows,
remake that
maybe-
stuff, they got it. It's theirs.
I mean, Embracer could just re-release it all. They could just be like, yeah, you know what? Let them out of the vault. I don't know.
no, or it's going
here's-
back into the Lord of the Rings vault, and you got to get your Blu-rays right now if you want to watch Lord of the
I
Rings.
wonder, maybe they own the Rankin Bass animations from the 70s, like those terrible versions.
So a couple other things they own. Asmodee. This is the board game publisher. Asmodee.
Yeah.
You've heard of these guys?
I have. Yeah, those
They
guys that
make,
do Marvel Crisis Protocol and whatever else.
Yeah, they do a bunch of different. So Fantasy Flight, for example, Days of Wonder, like all those things are now theirs. They also own Dark Horse Comics, which is interesting. You've probably read some of
that's
those
a Portland
comics.
company.
Oh, really?
Dark Horse.
Cool. It says here Milwaukee, Oregon. Sorry, not Portland.
Yeah, that's close enough.
No. Just kidding. I don't know my Portland.
It's
Geography.
to the south, just a little bit, like a mile to the south, basically.
Anyway.
Well, you
So
guys,
these guys are
else-
sneaking up, man. Pretty soon they're going to be a big player, I would imagine.
Yeah, we,
Like-
we thought it was Tencent, but no, it is the Swedes. ABBA is coming for your games. Mamma mia.
That's right.
So Meta, which is formerly Facebook, has, in addition to doing all of the VR and some of those things, they've kind of been working on some sort of metaverse. I don't know if they've like trademarked this term, but making kind of like a Facebook Second Life sort of thing.
Yeah, it looks really dumb.
It looks really bad. Like Mark Zuckerberg tweeted, like, "Oh, we're so thrilled with." I don't even know what he said.
Horizon Worlds is what it's called.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's like, oh, you're going to be able to meet. It's basically like PlayStation Home if they did it in like 2001 or something. I mean,
And it was
it's-
way stupider.
yeah, it's like I don't know what it is, but they are spending a ton of money on it too, like $10 billion or something. Like you could fund countries for that kind of,
Yeah.
of money. And the art that they shared for this is indescribably poor. They've got an avatar version of and not like the James Cameron avatar. That would actually have been kind of interesting. But an avatar version of Mark Zuckerberg standing in front of some like Eiffel Tower, and I don't know if that's the Hagia Sophia. I don't know what that is there behind him.
I think it's supposed to be Alhambra or something.
Oh yes, because it's in Spain. Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right. The Alhambra.
It's just like this is Punch Out, like hitting dudes and food coming out. Like stereotypical.
And like there's no like
Shit.
it's like unpainted texture or like untextured models and stuff.
Has this Mark Zuckerberg ever played a video game?
I don't
All
know.
right, I'll tell you what I'm
I
gonna
don't
do.
know.
I know what I'm
Okay.
going to do. So I logged into a VR game the other day called VR Chat, which is
Okay.
basically a bunch of chat rooms where you make an avatar and you hang out and people do dumb shit, right? I'm gonna download. In fact, I've already kind of participated in some of this Horizon World stuff. Like I went and watched a concert by Post Malone or something like that.
Marshmallow.
Yeah, something like that. So I'll tell you what I'll do this week. I will download this dumb shit, whatever it's called, Horizon Worlds, and I will explore, and I will let you know. I'll report back next week on what I uncover.
All right.
Because quite honestly, like, all this is a virtual place to hang out and do stuff. How it looks, I think that's the biggest thing that the social media jumped onto, is like, oh, like Mark Zuckerberg posted this dumb picture of his avatar and it looked stupid, right? Like that was what social media jumped onto. But I think that the overall concept of hanging out in a virtual world with a bunch of people, like I spent a lot of hours playing stupid Poker Stars VR or whatever it is, like whatever poker game they have that's free. Like I spent a lot of time, and most of what that game is just hanging out at a table with a bunch of dudes doing dumb shit and talking to each other. Like that's the gist of a lot of this stuff. It's like a big social virtual world.
So are you suggesting that Meta spent $10 billion to specifically long con us by making a lot of models that don't have any textures on them, because that's because
they spent $10 billion building something to hopefully become what people gravitate to. Like Oculus Quest is probably the most popular VR headset out there. It's very accessible. It's cheap. A lot of people have them. Dale at this point has even used one. And so
we're through the looking glass now.
And so at that, and Meta, Facebook, whatever you want to, they own that, that whole device. And so they're looking to try to establish themselves as the place to come and hang out. And I think the unfortunate part is that they're part of Facebook. And so everyone kind of, despite using Facebook, also looks at Facebook in like a negative light for whatever dumb reason, despite everyone using it. Everyone's kind of on Facebook.
Did you hear that?
But everyone hates it at the same time, or talk shit about it for whatever dumb reason.
Did you see that story about the AI that was built by Facebook that was talking trash about Facebook? Like it was like, oh, they don't do ethical things or whatever, and then they had to tweak it, and they're like, oh, actually, or something like that
AI is probably like reading all the news, right? Like that's all it's doing.
Yeah.
It's just reading Wikipedia and then like coming up with things to say, right? And so
like
people are reading the relevant news and making conversation about it. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is pretty.
So
funny.
I will give it a college try.
Next week.
My Oculus Quest is charged and sitting right here next to me, and I'll give it a shot, and I will let you know next week what I find. How about that?
Looking forward to it.
Okay, perfect.
Elsewhere in the news, just a quick little note. We have a lot of movies incoming. Sega in particular, I suspect that they're probably really emboldened by the success of their Sonic the Hedgehog movies. They themselves are adapting Space Channel 5, Comics Zone, and potentially other properties, other game properties into movies.
Spoilers,
Goldeneye.
Space Channel 5 does not have the brand recognition like Sonic does.
But you know what? Space Channel 5, I think, could be way more fun, just like in general.
What a Jet Set Radio.
Now we're talking.
What if it was like a serious adult, like Jet Set Radio, like they were like fighting for the future?
What if they did Mark
Taxi?
Echoes, the whatever that was?
Mark Echoes Getting Up. I love that. Yeah,
what if they did that?
That's
movie?
right.
Super Monkey Ball, the movie.
Oh no, with real monkeys, like they would actually, and they would do the thing where they would like make them like make their mouth.
What if they did Crazy Taxi, the movie?
Yeah, Crazy Taxi would be pretty good.
That's all I want.
Right.
Crazy Taxi starring Gary Busey. Oh no, I gotta say
that guy's in the news lately. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
I know, but
You did it, Jeremy. Good work.
I did. I'm a terrible person. And then also we have Sony planning a Gravity Rush movie, which, fine, whatever.
It's going to be anime, and it's going to be just like the game. It's
going to be broken. No, it's going to be worse. It's going to be like the Heavenly Sword movie that they made that absolutely broke my heart because I thought it was going to be, it's going to be bad. And then a Days Gone
Jeremy.
movie.
It was before its time.
Maybe.
Didn't they have a Ratchet and Clank movie?
They did, and it was cute for like little kids, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. Really, I mean, I think the game was like more funny than.
Didn't they have a Spider-Man movie based on Spider-Man?
They might have had one at some point.
Yeah, I heard those were okay.
They patched in like I played that Miles Morales for a few minutes. The new model that they have for the Peter Parker looks way younger than Miles. Did you notice that? Like they changed the Peter Parker model. Yeah,
I know
looks
that.
younger than Miles. Yeah.
Well, he's in it for like 5 minutes, right? And then pieces out.
Yeah, but it was just weird because he looks like he's like Miles is gonna.
Did you
I
play a
don't know.
lot of that game? That game's really good. Miles Morales.
It is really good. I've only gotten to the point where I was like learning all of his like explosion, invisibility powers and stuff. It
Ah,
was
cool.
Right.
That game's awesome, man. Miles Morales is really good.
I didn't try. Didn't you say there was a filter that kind of was like Spider-Verse? Like it was like kind of the animation was.
Yeah,
like,
you get a suit that is that, and
that does it. That'd be cool. I'd like to try that. Guys, that is all of the main news that we've got for this week. We've got like 4 or 5 items on the speed run, so this is going to be real quick. Play the music and let's get her done.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is the remake, by the way, is being given to a new developer. So they canceled it, and well, they're giving it to someone else to do.
Did they say who?
I don't know. This is a speed run. I have no idea.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't want accuracy here. We just want like whiffs of news.
One of the group's AAA project, another studio within the group. That's what it says in this.
Yeah, that's the in fact in the Embracer group. So
yeah, it's the Embracer group. That's what they meant. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, WB Multiversus.
Oh wait, so like Embracer Group bought the developer of the original remake. So that's why the Embracer Group is involved in this, I guess. You weren't kidding, Jeremy.
No, I'm dead serious.
I thought you were making a joke about our last discussion about Embracer Group owning all the things.
Nope, but I guess I should have.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke. It was not a joke.
Well, anyway, WB Multiversus is outsold Elden Ring in July.
Outsold, it's a free game.
That's because of their Battle Pass. It outsold Elden Ring because of its like Battle Pass thing.
Outsold what?
I don't understand the appeal of this thing. What is the appeal of this thing? Like
this is why I put it in here, because like we've all been making fun of this, but I think it's gonna continue to be kind of a big thing. By the way, the next leak of characters, Beetlejuice and the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz.
But you know, Jeremy, we're comparing like this is a total apples and oranges comparison here. I mean, you're talking about like the lowest of the lowbrow, broadest, widest net sort of thing versus Elden Ring, which is kind of like
wait a minute. This is
out
Elden Ring from top sales slot in July.
This is last month.
So Elden Ring has been the top of the sales charts until now from when it released in February. Is that what we're saying?
Or at least last month. I mean, I don't know if it's been battling.
No, the success of Multiverses knocked Elden Ring down to second place, is what this PC Gamer article says. Only the second time this year that From Software's fantasy phenomenon hasn't been in the top spot. So Elden Ring has been the top seller since February until now.
And it's Multiverses that knocked it out.
Yeah, knocked it out. What? I don't understand what that even means. It's a free-to-play game. I don't get that.
Multiverses is a free-to-play game, says PC Gamer, but alongside in-game microtransactions, Warner Brothers also sells an array of Founders Packs for the game, which give players character tickets used for unlocking fighters. It was these Founders Packs which apparently launched Multiverses to the top of the sales charts.
And is that sales by revenue or by units?
Yes. Something like that. So, just FYI, that's going on. We'll be hearing from Multiverses again in the future.
So free-to-play Multiverses is popular, apparently.
Yep, that's right.
Or at least popular enough to beat
2,
out a 7-month-old game at this point. Is that what we're saying?
That's right.
Okay,
but it did it. It did it. Overwatch 2 is imminent, which means that Overwatch 1 is soon to be put out to pasture and not actually playable anymore. But they're adding cross-platform progress. So as of today, you can combine all of your current profiles. And I actually do have 2 profiles to combine. So I'm actually kind of happy with this.
Why is it Overwatch 2? If Overwatch 1 has gone away, why can't this just be Overwatch?
Overwatch, the gritty reboot, right?
Well, just have continuity.
Wouldn't that be funny though to do like immediately?
Because
like
nobody wants to buy
after.
Overwatch again. They want to buy. Well, I guess it's free to play now, so
I think so.
Your point stands, but they want people to be excited about the new Overwatch, so they got to label it something different.
There's sort of no reason to bifurcate your players, though. I mean, you want to move them all over and.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like they got to call it Overwatch 2 because they want people to be excited about Overwatch again, which most people are not. Aside from Jeremy, who apparently is. Are you still watching the Overwatch League stuff?
I almost did, but the only reason I did is because my daughter, who has been, I think I've talked about her before being like a level 70 grand mage or whatever. We actually like it, and she was like, oh yeah, like she was kind of into it. And I was like, all right, like I can watch this. And we had like a favorite player who was like a goofball or whatever, and he got totally smoked. But I almost watched more Overwatch League this week, but I did not. But maybe. I'm not saying it's not out of the question.
I'm glad you didn't. Overwatch is super hard to watch. Like any first-person shooter competitively is
like a
difficult.
lot of esports in general. It's just a lot harder to watch than
unless it's StarCraft or Heroes of the Storm or Dota or League of Legends. Like those are easier to follow.
They can be, but they still require like a lot of just like putting a lot of pieces together that are going on all over the place, and they are jumping around a lot. It's different. It's just different.
Yeah.
And then the last
anything
item.
else?
Oh, go ahead. Yep, there's one more.
Oh, Fortnite skins are coming to Destiny 2, and they look dumb, and Destiny 2 should never have done this, but they are doing it.
I totally agree with this. Like, I think they have debased themselves to put Fortnite into their game, but whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get that Fortnite audience.
They are really deigning to, descend.
What is Destiny getting out of this? They get nothing out of this.
No, they get, but maybe some people who are like, "Ooh, I
get 1% of people to go and try their game." Which
1% of Fortnite people though is not,
which is big,
bad for Destiny.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, but I just had a great idea. I really think that Elden Ring should release some multiverses content packs to bring back some of the. No.
It says here that Destiny characters are also coming to Fall Guys.
That's kind of cool. Fall Guys.
Yep, they're not going to be out of place there.
Fall Guys will benefit.
Fall Guys should have everything. That's the place where
you see Zavala hanging out with a bunch of bees,
Yeah.
Ikora Ray.
I cannot get past the big bonker hammer. I don't know. Guys, that is going to do it for our speed run. That is going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast. Thank you very much for making it all the way to the end with us. Guys, appreciate you being here. Listeners, if you have any thoughts about any of the games that we played, if you want to talk about Kiwi, if you've been visiting your local game painting store, whatever kind of stuff Dale's doing, or I don't know, maybe you've played Animal Crossing or like whatever. Tell us all about that stuff. You can find us on social media. We are on Twitter at Game Bytes Show collectively. You can also reach out to us individually. I'm at Jeremy_Lamont.
You can find me at Legrand. My name's on the YouTube stream, by the way, if you don't know how to spell it.
And I'm at Count Delmdor.
Jared Red Dunn at RED_I. Snoozing away. Hope you get some rest, and we'll see you again soon. You can also find us over at youtube.com/GameByteShow. As Legrand mentioned, we can hit the bell, come hang out with us if you like. I didn't actually check to see if anybody's watching. I know you guys find this after the fact, but you can come live if you want to and comment, add to the conversation.
Indeed.
You can also add to the conversation over at GameByteShow.com, where we have a link to our Discord, open invite. You can come join there with us. Remember Legrand's question from the beginning of the show. How much would you pay to have somebody assemble your flat pack furniture? $5. That's my max.
That's it, huh?
That's it. It's not my thing. But
if you don't know what we're talking about, tune into the YouTube stream or the YouTube video archive of this.
Did this come before? That's right. We didn't do it.
Yeah, we were streaming all of that. Good.
We got it. We got to have like special secret questions from now on. I like that idea. I think that's good. And then, of course, aside from YouTube, you can find us on Discord. You can find the back catalog of all of our podcasts. All that good stuff is there, still all there for you. And we'd love to hear from you. If you find one of our 10-year-old episodes or whatever, let us know. If we, said something that was super trenchant and prognosticative, let us know about that, because we like to know when we did something right. That's what this is all about, really. Folks, that is going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Bam.
Just like that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That is my second podcast today. I've been doing all kinds of like...
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Do you do a video game grooves?
Video game grooves earlier today, because the only time that he could do it was on a weekday, and I was like, well...
How's that going? Has it been a while?
Yeah, well, so everybody kind of had some like scheduling things for the summer. So my twice a month podcast there has gone to like once a month tops, which is kind of a downer, but that's fine. We have some pretty good guests lined up. I've got composer Peter McConnell, who says that he wants to come on and he'll talk about Psychonauts and
cool.
Psychonauts 2 and stuff like that. So, people kind of find out about things, and I get to talk to some cool folks, but it's going all right.
It's cool to have like a niche like that not really anybody else does.
Yeah, and that's, and not anybody really listens to either. I mean, it's the same same kind of thing. So all of this is just kind of for my own edification, which is good. Works out. All right.
I finally bought the Doom vinyl soundtrack.
Oh, did you? The Mick Gordon? Which version did you get? Did you get like a 2-disc version or like a box set? Or...
The red 2-disc version.
It's actually funny today that you were. So I got two things. I got only one within reach right now because I just kind of had this Sonic Spinball for the Sega Genesis, which is
Cool.
like the closest thing to the sound of electronic farting I think that I've ever heard before in my life. But I also got a Super Mario RPG box set came in today,
Oh,
bootleg,
cool.
unofficial release, and I was able to wheel and deal and get a copy for my co-host Anthony as well because he was like, I really want one.
Did you end up
So-
buying the N64 Goldeneye orchestrated?
Yes, I
vinyl?
do have a copy of that, and I can't remember which variant I've got. I think I've got a like gold.
Did it already
I
come?
also have.
They just
Yes,
released
well,
it just barely, or is this a
no.
re-release?
They repressed it. I actually have
Oh.
two versions of Goldeneye. I've got the original version because there's always complainers when stuff like that happens. Like when there's a reorchestrated version, there's people who are like, "Well, I only like the original," which is fine, I guess. But somebody actually did bootleg the original Goldeneye in addition to those reorchestrated ones.
Yeah, the reorchestrated
but-
just came out like a reprint on, is it IM 8-bit that had that?
But Light in the Attic, I think, had one. Respawn Records. It's actually technically a Respawn Records release, and he.
Oh, is
funded-
it?
No, Enjoy the Ride. Enjoy the Ride Records was the one. I think they had a.
That's it.
But interesting thing about that reorchestrated version, because I actually talked to the guy about it. The artist, the musician, found the original sound font for the GoldenEye, for the sonar ping that's part of the game, and you don't even realize it because they like slow it down. They like use it all over that game, and he found the legit sonar ping sound effect.
Oh,
to it,
really?
so
The
it was-
bing.
Yeah, exactly.
In like some library or something, or what?
Yeah, I don't remember, but something like that. So he's got like the legit sound font that they used. But somebody did actually go back and redo the.
I went back and
original.
I wanted to buy it, but it was sold out by the time I got there.
Apparently it went really fast. But so they said they're even going to do. They said this was like their third repressing, and they just did not anticipate that people were going to be that interested in it. So they're going to do another run. So you still have a
Oh,
chance.
cool. Okay.
Yeah. So. And other than that, those things sort of tend to drive the games that I'm going to play because I'm like, well, I bought this stupid plastic disc. I better legitimize it by going to play that game. So
I've been listening to Silent Hill 2 is what's on my turntable right now.
Ooh, that's good. You know, Akira Yamaoka did you know that Akira Yamaoka was involved in The Medium?
I did not.
Yeah, like that came out on vinyl too, and like it's a dual. It's Akira Yamaoka and someone like Olivier Derivière or whatever, the guy who does like a whole bunch of things. But yeah, there's a new.
Oh, the
Yamaoka.
soundtrack's on Spotify too. Yeah, Akira
Yeah.
Yamaoka and Arkadiusz Rejkowski.
Oh yes, that's right. Arcadia's with a Z or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't think
that
they credit.
soundtrack's good too.
It's pretty good, but they don't credit who did which tracks. So I don't know if it's like an all like one, like half of it is Yamaoka and half of it is the other dude or what. But
I need to. God, I hate having to do this every time. There we go.
It's true.
That soundtrack was good. I liked it. I never finished that game, but
yeah, I didn't either. I got a good amount into it.
I got pretty far, I think.
Well, gentlemen, if you want to send over your files, I'll get